You're listening to Where You Live with Gene and Tony.
Welcome back. This is Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We're broadcasting from the Natural Green Lawn and Landscape Studios. We're brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency, and Extreme Exteriors. You can count on Extreme Exteriors for expert installation of exterior siding, roofing, soffits, fascia, decks, windows, and much more. With their knowledge and experience, they can design the perfect solution to make your home beautiful and energy efficient, saving you time and money for years to come. Call Extreme Exteriors at 763-441-1334 and tell them you heard it here on Where You Live. Now let's hear from the Community Associations Institute. The CAI Minute is brought to you by New Concepts Rental Management. Whether you're an accidental landlord or a seasoned investor, New Concepts Rental Management can help you achieve your financial goals. New Concepts Rental Management can advise and guide you through every aspect of the business. Call me, Tony Crockett, at New Concepts Rental Management, 952-922-2500. New Concepts Rental Management, 952-922-2500.
Are you a member of the Community Associations Institute? For nearly 40 years, CAI has provided education and resources to volunteer homeowners who govern community associations and the professionals who support them. Visit caionline.org to learn more. The address again is caionline.org. CAI helps community associations board members by providing online resources, in-person training, and hard copy publications written by association management experts. CAI offers community managers professional development, networking opportunities, and a certification program that is established as the industry standard nationwide. Minnesota has its own chapter of the Community Associations Institute to bring resources and tools from community associations around the country right to your home. Visit www.cai-mn.com to learn more and become a member of CAI today. Your community and management company will benefit from your involvement. Join the Community Associations Institute today at cai-mn.com and click on membership.
Well, Gene, we've been talking about this story out of Galveston where a board president is suing another homeowner in the association for defamation.
Yes.
Mr. Bonatti is the board president. He said he's incurred substantial loss of his reputation and suffered severe emotional distress. Is that going to be enough to prove his suit, do you think?
Well, we've dealt with that a little bit over the years.
Well, I know I've dealt with a lot of severe emotional distress myself, but
yeah, everybody has.
Yes, I haven't been sued over it though.
Yes, but what a lot of people call a lot of distress, some other people might just call life. But no, that happens from time to time.
Yeah.
I know there are businesses that will be upset because a competitor will make a claim. And I know that if in those particular cases, if something like that is taking place, one of the things that the attorney is going to ask is there what is the real actual damage? Is it something that can be measured?
Right.
Because
can you prove that actual damage occurred because this other person said these things about you?
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard to prove.
Yes.
How do you prove a negative? Well, I think I lost business or lost the opportunity to get business.
Yes, to receive on that end. That's different though than someone who is outright intentionally lying. Now if someone is lying, we talked about that. There's words that can be used. If someone says, "Oh, the person is arrogant, he's incompetent." There's a lot of things that the person could say. Well, that is causing people to lose any kind of trust or credibility that I might have. Mm-hmm. That's hard to prove. Mm-hmm. But if someone is saying the person is stealing, he's unethical, they've got to back it up with something. Sure. If not, yes, there could be an issue there.
Now, at the top of the hour, you said that one of the things that's interesting and refreshing about this article is that the board president does not seem to be dragging the homeowners association into this fight. But that brought to my mind that associations do carry an insurance policy called directors and officers insurance. And so what would that cover, something like this, or what is that used for? Well,
the D&O insurance is used for something else. This would be used for liability that the directors and officers might have because of, let's say, you're talking about a group of people who are trying to make their best decision possible for a group of homeowners, and they may make a wrong decision.
Sure.
But they didn't do so in a malicious way. They used the information, the resources available, and there was a wrong decision. And now there was some
negative consequence
that happened as a result.
Uh-huh.
Yes, then the D&O insurance would be something that would kick in.
So it protects that board from when the board is using its best efforts to make good decisions for the community, but something just goes wrong.
Yes.
I see.
And a lot of people individually sometimes will try suing an individual board member.
Okay.
And no, the person who's on the board has some protection with what's called the corporate shield. The association is a corporation.
I see.
And so they're not so you can't be sued individually because it wasn't one person that made a decision. It was a corporate decision among all of the directors.
Sure.
And so, yes, there's coverage for that.
That's got to help people come to the decision to volunteer for their board if they realize that their personal risk is greatly minimized and that they are protected.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But the other thing with this, and again, like I said, we don't know what's really going on here with this president and with this homeowner, other than they really don't seem to see eye to eye. That's for sure.
Right.
And they don't like each other.
Yeah.
Are some of the things defamation? Well, I guess the court will determine whether that took place. But one of the things that I wanted to bring up that I think is important, and that is in cases of defamation where someone is saying, my image is being slandered, is being libeled, they need to realize that people who are public figures that willingly put themselves out in the public, there is a higher burden for defamation for them than for others.
Okay.
And it was the Supreme Court back in 1964 in a case called Hustler versus Falwell.
Boy, that conjures up an image, doesn't it?
It sure do. Yes.
Yeah.
And in that case, the court held that certain statements that would otherwise be considered defamation were protected by First Amendment free speech of the United States Constitution. The court reasoned that the United States society has a profound national commitment to the principle that debate on public issues should be uninhibited, robust, and wide open.
Very interesting.
And so, yes.
Yeah.
And so
they're saying when you're talking about a public issue and also about a public official, you should be able to speak freely and speak your mind freely. And maybe you'll cross the line and call him an arrogant so-and-so.
Yes.
But
on the other hand, that doesn't give anybody a license to say whatever they whatever they want.
Right.
If you're going to say something, you better back it up with something that can be verifiable and can be seen. You know, it's documented.
Yeah.
You just can't just make loose statements. But on the other hand, I guess what I'm saying is, to some extent, yes, a board president isn't the same as the president of the United States. But they are willingly putting themselves out there as an elected official. And so to some degree, you got to understand, if you're going to be on the board, you're going to hear some negative things. And so if you're really thin-skinned, you probably shouldn't be on the board to begin with.
Yeah, interesting.
But in this case, if someone's going on and saying things that aren't true, that are talking about that the person stole, was unethical, they better back that up with what they're doing.
Makes sense.
Otherwise, it's just going to be bad all around. Let's take a look at this next story, and this comes out of Haverhill, Massachusetts, and this is a board. I guess a group of a board of directors for the Wingate Street Condominium Association. What they're saying here, Tony, is that they said the city of Haverhill deceived them They said that they were promised to receive $25,000 as a loan, but the loan was something that had no repayment attached to it at all. It was something that was going to be forgiven. And so that's an interesting claim here. They said the city reneged on this promise. But you know what? Looking at the clock, we're going to have to stop right here. So let's do that right now. When we come back, we're going to take a look at this situation of the Wingate Condo Association. Were they cheated out of $25,000? You be the judge after these messages.